The first persona, I would say, first toxic ex that I'm gonna tell you about.
Toxic ex.
Yes, is the control freak. Okay, so this control freak ex is a type of ex that really wants you to tell him or her where you are every minute of the day. Right? Like, they panic if you don't reply right away, or they kind of want you to tell them where you're going and wait for them to say yes, you can go there.
Yeah, you
gotta-
gotta ask permission for
You
everything.
have to ask permission.
What you're doing, who you're with,
Yes. What you're eating, how many breaths you took.
and and then they want you to send them fucking photos and shit.
And they
I'm
track you, like they do GPS thingy and find your
That's
friend.
crazy, man.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
that's.
Oh man.
Have you
I did.
experienced that?
Yeah. At one point, and you know me, I'm a very outgoing person. I have so many activities in my life, and it was just so hard because I feel like a puppet. I feel like a prisoner in that
Yeah.
relationship, or a worker that has to answer to a boss. You know what I mean?
Like a manager.
Yeah,
You're being
micromanager.
micromanaged, right?
A micromanager. Yes, that's how I feel like. And why it was really bad. Okay, we're here to tell you, if that's your ex, that it is really bad. And why was it really bad? Because for that reason that I said, that you will feel like a prisoner in that relationship. This person does not respect you as an individual. Instead, they feel like they are in possession of you, like you are of them, right? So I feel like I don't know, it's suffocating.
I would also say that there's no trust.
Yes.
And obviously, trust is such a huge, if not the biggest component in a relationship.
True.
And if you're constantly having to report, you know what I mean? Exactly. Like, this is where I'm at. This is what I'm doing. This is who I'm with. And
Yeah.
it's especially difficult, like what you said earlier. If you're an outgoing person, you've got a lot of friends.
Yeah.
You're always outside. You've got a lot of
Yes,
things going
yes.
on. It's just like, why the fuck do I need to,
Yeah. Yeah, and you just missed a reply for like 5 minutes, and they'd be like, "Gege, salamat na lang sa lahat."
Away na.
Or
Away
like,
na.
they start a fight, or like, well, hope you live your best life. Goodbye.
And then they block you on fucking Facebook and shit.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like it's just suffocating. And we're here to tell you why your breakup was worth it. If this was the kind of relationship you were in, you have to wake up, open your eyes up, and it is so worth it because, again, you deserve someone who can respect you as an individual, who celebrates the different aspects in your life that does not involve him or her, right?
And also gives you that unwavering, unconditional support.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Like, this is you, do your thing.
Do your thing. I support you.
Yeah, I want you to be the queen or king that you are.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay. So, this is actually borderline psycho. So, please, if this was your ex, congratulate yourself that you got out of that relationship.
And if this is you, well, fuck that shit, man. Come on.
This is you, magbago ka na.
Yeah, exactly. 2022 na.
Yeah,
Right?
right?
Time to change.
The next one I'm going to say is, oh my gosh, verbally abusive ex. Verbally abusive.
In what ways? Because there are, like, to me, when I hear verbally abusive, there's the subtle way.
The playful way?
Yeah. And then
Well-
there's the really in your face, mean type of, you know what I mean?
Okay, here's the thing. Verbally abusive to that point that made you break up with them.
So, like, cursing you out,
Cursing you out, or what else?
disencouraging you.
Yes, Come,
Yeah.
what else?
Yeah.
Disencouraging you. Backhanded compliments.
What's that?
When you're disguising an insult with a compliment. For example, I like this dress. It flatters your big stomach.
Oh, okay.
Right? Something like that. So
That's just a
it's-
recipe for disaster.
it's kind of like you're saying she's fat, but then you're also saying that you like the dress, something like that. And also verbally abusive partners can be those that are always mean to you. You know, they disguise it as maybe tough love, calling you out every time, very critical.
Being overly critical, yeah.
Yes. I mean, there's a borderline in being critical and also being overly critical and just plain rude and mean.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I would also say some of the more well-known stuff about verbal abuse, like gaslighting and shit like that. It it doesn't just happen in a relationship, but even before the relationship, in the dating game, there's a lot of that going on.
Yeah, that's true. And it's so sad. And why it was really bad? Because, well, if you're in that relationship, you're always going to feel like you're not good enough. Because they give you these harsh words. And words have power. You know that, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Words are powerful. Even if you feel like, don't let anyone talk you into feeling shit. But then if this partner is with you all the time and you lean on this partner,
And it's excessive.
And it's
like you hear it
excessive.
every single day.
yeah, you're going to really feel the impact of his hurtful words or their hurtful words.
And you're going to start believing it. And I think that's the worst part about it. Where you start to believe something that's not true at all.
Yeah. So you start to have lower self-esteem, confidence. Yeah, abuse. Very sad. Why your breakup was worth it is because your partner, like you said, should be your number one supporter. They
Yeah.
should be your number one cheerleader. They should support you and not belittle you, right? They should be able to kind of give you that extra boost and feel like they believe in you even when the rest of the world doesn't.
Exactly. Even if you're the one at fault.
Ah, do you want to elaborate on that? That's
Yeah,
interesting.
like for example, if you did something wrong, I would call you out on it definitely.
Mm-hmm. How so? In a non-toxic way.
I would just I would just be like, "Hey, I didn't like that. I didn't like that you did this."
Mhm.
Or I was really uncomfortable that you did that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, I support you.
Yeah.
I'm not you must have had your own reasons for doing it at the time, or you were compelled by your emotions for doing it at the time. I'm not gonna be so critical of you because of that. Because
Yeah.
I know I have my moments too.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I would do that for you.
Yeah, and you have to come from a place of love, right? Not just ang bobo naman ito or ang tanga-tanga mo naman. You're so stupid, right?
It's crazy because some people actually do say
They
that.
do that. And again, you'll know naman when it's just playful banter
Mhm.
and versus talagang, they're giving it at you, tanga mo, you're so stupid.
You never do anything right.
Yes. And then because you're in that relationship for a very long time, you start to believe it. And again, why your breakup was worth it is because, girl, you deserve to shine your light without this stupid person dimming it.
Exactly. And you
right?
also
Or raining on
deserve
your parade.
a space where you can make mistakes
Yes.
and not be crucified for it.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Sorry, I used the word crucified. Is that too hardcore? But sometimes it is, right?
Exactly.
I mean, friggin' some people will destroy you.
And I remember we have an episode in was it season 1 or season 2 about dialogue in
Yeah,
relationships?
I think it was season 2.
Yeah. So, if you haven't listened to that episode, we have a full episode about how to communicate with your partner. So, you don't have to resort to being verbally abusive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree. And I believe the next one is the ill-tempered,
Oh my
which
God.
really resonates well with being verbally abusive.
Mhm.
Is that okay? You're already abusing the person, your significant other,
Mhm.
with words. Add to that a crazy aggressive stance or a temper. That's
Mhm.
just it's
Hot-headed
deadly.
person. Yes.
It's so bad.
Hot-headed partner. Oh my gosh. I remember when I was growing up, my mom would always tell me that when I choose a partner, I have to choose a partner who is, kinder can give you the feedback that you need, or can talk to you, can have difficult conversations with, but will not fight with you, like will not be in a battle or a war with you,
Scream at you and
scream at you,
especially not hurt you. Like,
physically
yeah,
hurt you,
exactly.
or just lash out all the time, right? And again, why it's really bad is because you're like walking on eggshells, right? You're walking on eggshells. You don't know when this person is gonna snap at you.
Yeah.
And when they do, it's just a scary time because you don't feel safe in the relationship because they are always angry, shouting, or again, physical, or maybe shutting you out.
And that shit is really contagious
Oh yes.
as well. Because I know uh, part of my childhood was growing up in a very aggressive
The
environment
Pedron
where
temper.
the
Are
yeah
you gonna talk
the
about the
Pedron
Pedron temper?
temper.
Okay, let's do
Not
that.
too much, but you know what I mean. My family is actually known to have a temper. You know, when temper is connected to your last name, that's some shit,
The
right?
Pedron temper.
Exactly. So I had to undergo a lot of self healing, hugging the inner child type and shit. But I really grew up in an environment where it was really aggressive. And so I felt that I also had to be aggressive all the time
Mhm.
towards everybody.
Yeah.
It came to the point where I didn't even know why I was so mad at
Yeah.
everything and everyone.
Yeah.
And that affected my relationships obviously in a very negative way. It
Mhm.
took me a long time
Mhm.
to really, really get over that
Mhm.
and then not to be so easily triggered
Mhm.
by stuff.
Yes.
Because when you're easily triggered, guess what? Your immediate family or
Mhm.
your significant other, the people that are always around you, they are the ones that suffer the most.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. And I mean, I'm so happy to say that Alex doesn't have that Pedron temper anymore, or like
Oh fuck that! If you had met me in my 20s, it was totally different story.
yeah, he's a great communicator. When he gets upset, we talk about it. We have difficult conversations as well. Again, we're debunking the myth. People feel like we don't fight. That this is a
We
perfect
fight all the time.
We fight all the time. Well, not all the time, but we've just mastered the way to deal with fights. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because fighting, arguing in a relationship, that shit is normal.
Exactly. And why your breakup is worth it? Because imagine yourself very tired from work. You're so stressed out from your day.
Oh man.
And you come home, right? You come home to someone nagging you for not doing this or for doing that, or shouting at you, adding to the stressful day that you had. Like, is that really the kind of relationship that you want?
That's so difficult because, for example, you're already having a war at the
Exactly.
office, having a crazy bad day, and then you come home to another war.
Exactly. So your relationship should feel like a safe haven for you.
Sanctuary.
I love that word, sanctuary, right? So it should feel like a sanctuary rather than another battlefield.